I think, generally speaking, the Trump policies are going to be good because it will reset the whole nature of trade between countries. Because, as you know, some countries, notably China, have taken advantage of the World Trade Organization rules. So this will be a reset, let's put it that way. And of course, these tariffs probably will not be fully implemented simply because these countries will sit down and discuss how to make an arrangement that be fair for both sides. So, particularly with Mexico and Canada being part of the Free Trade Organization in North America, they will probably come to some kind of an agreement regarding trade and opening up not only trade but investment. Of course, there'll be lots of new investments coming into India from China in particular, but from all over the world, because more and more India is going to become a destination for supply chains, for people to manufacture and get a supply of components and materials and equipment. Well, I think Modi has the most important thing Modi has done is the digitization of the Indian economy. And that has, of course, led to great efficiencies. And that has extended to the infrastructure. You must remember that the internet is part of the infrastructure of any country. And he has done a lot to improve that. But in addition, as you travel around India, you'll see there's a tremendous amount of building infrastructure going on, roads, bridges, etc. And I think that will probably be accelerated because the Indian budget will expand with greater incomes. The budget will be able to add more to the infrastructure spending. I think I really don't know what will happen, but my guess is Trump will come in, and whoever's coming into the Justice Department will say, "What are you guys doing, sticking your nose into Indian business and spending all this money on a trial, which probably will go nowhere?" So there's a good chance that the Justice Department will move away from the Adani trial, and I believe that there'll be another implications where the Justice Department will be reorganized in America and will be doing less and less involved in the overseas situation and more with the domestic situation. Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think a lot of people are now beginning to realize that with Trump coming in, this situation in the U.S. will probably go away. That's number one. And number two, the question is, what did Adani do wrong? Why aren't they being tried in India if they did something wrong? And the situation with the hedge funds going after Adani also seemed to have fizzled out. So a lot of investors, I think, are beginning to look at this and say, well, Adani is under pressure, but at the end of the day, their business will continue to operate and probably will continue to do well. Well, a lot of this situation, particularly with the U.S. State Department and the Justice Department, have been politics, involved with politics. And particularly the accusations against Trump were very politically motivated. And that goes for other accusations and attempts by the Justice Department to bring people to so-called justice. So I think that's going to be fading away under the Trump administration. Well, as you know, Soros has got an agenda. And he's got the agenda to so-called move countries towards a more democratic framework in his own vision. And some of this has gone a little bit too far, in my view. And I think, again, then he's not going to get the support of the global community if he continues on this path. Well, he was a guy who made a lot of money on currency trading, particularly with the U.S. With the pound, British pound, and he's using that money for his own political agenda. And of course, a lot of that has now been pretty much destroyed as a result of the recent election in the U.S. The whole woke culture, the whole far left liberal culture is now being destroyed as a result of what happened with the election. So Soros's positions will be weakened considerably.
When it comes
There's no question that the markets they will go down eventually. The question is when. The good news is that bull markets last longer than bear markets, and bull markets go up more in percentage terms than bear markets go down. So you're better off being optimistic than being pessimistic. So in this environment, you see the US market, Indian market has done very, very well. Chinese market, not so well. So it differs from country to country. But the bottom line is, even in the case of China, you'll see a recovery and you'll see higher prices. And I believe the bull market in India, with corrections along the way, will continue to do very well because the country is on the track to higher and higher economies and higher growth. I think portfolios should always have gold, physical gold. I recommend maybe 10%, maybe even 20%, but 10% would be a good amount to have of physical gold. But at the end of the day, you're better off with stocks, with equities. Well, first of all, they should read my book, The Book of Wealth, which is published in India, as you know.
Yeah.
And in that book, I said the first thing you got to look at is health. Take care of your health. Because you can be wealthy, but if you're not healthy, it's not going to be a good game. But at the end of the day, you've got to also be patient. Now, there are some people that can get rich quick as a result of either their abilities or luck or a combination of both. But most people are not able to do that. So you're better off taking your time, investing in good stocks, holding them, and then waiting for the returns to come in. And they will come in as a result of the fact that good stocks will always perform well. Well, the growth in India will continue. There's no question about that. We're going to see an incredible renaissance of India. And the impact of India globally will be greater and greater as we go forward, simply because with 1.2 billion people, with a huge consumer population, with a huge production capacity, India will make its mark globally and will equal and maybe even surpass China in the future. So the future is very bright for India, very bright.